Hello there, and welcome back to another Planet Zoo video, where we are back with a new episode of Newtropic Zoo, a sandbox modern zoo based in the grasslands of Africa. And in the last episode, we created this lovely on-the-water restaurant. And in this episode, in this blacked out area of path, we're going to create some kind of park plaza. But first, we need to complete the water fountain at the side of the restaurant. I said it in the last episode of Newtropic Zoo that that's what we're going to start this episode with. So I am doing. And I use this brick wall. I love this. I think this is the Indonesian brick wall, I do believe. And we're going to recolour it to dark colours, blacks mainly and greys, to give it that modern theme. And it's probably another kind of wall what I'm going to use throughout this zoo. If you're new on here, this is basically a new modern zoo based in the grasslands of Africa. And I'm really enjoying creating this zoo. For anyone who doesn't know, this is actually my first ever zoo creation. Went with sandbox because franchise it's just too stressful, I thought. You know, I wanted my imagination to take over and to be able to create whatever I wanted in Sandbox. That can happen. For the backdrop of this water fountain, you can see me adding the custom walls what are off my own Steam Workshop page. If you want them, the link to my Steam Workshop page will be down in the description. And just added a nice I normally use these backdrops for backdrops of habitats to make it look a bit more natural. But I thought water fountain, it's going to look well. And we just line it again, moving it up with the wood pieces. And then in this section here, we're going to have some staff facilities. I thought this is an open section. There's no point wasting it or adding another fountain on the other side. I thought what I'm going to do is going to hide some staff facilities in there, whatever I need. Probably a zookeeper's or a staff room or something like that. Now for the actual water fountain itself, I didn't want it to look natural. I wanted it to look like it was man-made at the side of the restaurant, kind of like a centerpiece for guests walking past it or guests what are actually dining at the restaurant on the outside area, which is above water as well. I'm so happy that it all worked out in the last episode and that the guests can actually use those tables what are not on a path. It's brilliant that Planet Zoo has added that for the restaurant capability. Adding the actual water now to this custom-made water fountain, I wanted it to trickle down these rocks here, down into the actual water, so that's what I did. Used a lot of the top. If you use the top, water fountain top it's called, it gives the impression it's just like ruffling and you know, you can actually see it. If you use the fall like you can see me doing here, you can't actually see it when it's flat. It just looks stupid. It doesn't even look like water's running across a flat surface. So add the top, and then with the midsection, the waterfall midsection, you can add in the wall to make it actually look like a fountain. Adding some of the jagged edges now of the land with foliage and rocks and stuff like that and making it look a little bit more natural, even though it is a man-made water fountain. Adding the bottom of the water fountain, and that will be pretty much done. You can see I've carved out on the left and on the right 2 squares. We're going to add some mulch and we're going to add some foliage to this. This zoo has got a lot of planters in it, but that's why I wanted it. It's a tropical modern zoo, do you know what I mean? So I wanted a lot of tropical planting. Right, on to the actual plaza, where honestly, there's so many ideas running through my brain at this point. I thought I need a planter. We do end up building a splash pad, a children's splash pad. Obviously, it's not functional. It's not going to work. Your children, your guest children are not going to be playing in no splash pad anytime soon, is what I was meaning to say. But it's something what I wanted to add. It adds to that tropical look. We are in Africa, it is going to be warm, and I wanted something interactive for the younger guest of a zoo, because that's the kind of thing I would like in a zoo if I was actually building it in real life. Now this, what you see me creating here, is actually going to be one big ass planter. You see me just getting the colour off another wall, just keeping with the same colour scheme. I used the off-the-grid pieces to build this and angled them and just created a shape what I wanted. See me getting the bow and arrow man in there just to make sure that it's tall enough for the guest to not like see into it, because I wanted lower down planters like you see me creating here, more circular planters what the guest can see in. Again, I need to it's very abstract this, isn't it? There was no thought process what really went in this. I wanted to create random shapes and try to make it look somehow good. And don't worry about things overlapping, because they're going to add mulch on the top and you won't even see the things overlapping when the mulch and the foliage is in. So it's all good. I just wanted a selection of planters to kind of make like a centerpiece really, isn't it? An abstract modern centerpiece where our guests can sit around. Now, once the walls of the actual planters were in, it was time to move on to the splash pad. And then I needed kind of like an outlined area. Again, we're going with the kind of same shape we've just gone with that planter, but a little bit bigger. We needed more surface area for if we want smaller guests to be able to actually play on. Yeah, so in this video, you're going to see how I create a plaza. And I did play about with loads of different ideas in my head of how I wanted a plaza to look and how I actually what I wanted in the plaza. And I thought it needs to be an open space. It needs to be a big open space, but with interactive elements. So we've got the planter with seats. We're going to add some vending machines. We're going to add some seated areas. And obviously, what you can see in the building now, we're going to have a big splash pad for the children. But most of it is going to be an open area. I don't want loads of crowded. You know me, I love high detailed, but I didn't want loads of crowded things in this area. I wanted kind of like an area where kids can play and the adults can watch over the kids. Now, this is how the floor came out looking, and this is how the actual splash pad is now forming. And now to create the actual items what are going to go in the splash pad. So we've got the jets and stuff like that. I used the rod pieces. I just thought this is kind of a thing you would see at like a water park, isn't it? Like your guests can run under or crawl over these jets what are falling down from this object. And then a mushroom. I've actually seen this in a water park I've been to recently, and I thought, right, I'm gonna build it. And luckily we've got mushrooms in the game, which is brilliant. I'm not sure what pack they're in, so if you do ask me in the comment section, I don't actually know. Just add a little water fountain to that. And now planters, we're going to add the mulch and the foliage obviously to complete the planters, and that will be this section of this plaza area finished. In the end, it came out something like this. I've added a little slide, added some swings off the workshop. Now to add some seatings to this flooring area, just so it gives the impression that our guests can sit down and chill out while they watch their children play in this lovely new plaza area of Newtropic Zoo. Some vending machines going in, some benches are going in as well. And the word splash, don't know why, just looks good. And by the way, if you was wondering how I created those shaded areas with the seating, I just copied them over from my previous restaurant. I used them already, I created them already. I just added some supported beams with the conservation wood pieces and metal pieces, and we've got shaded areas. People tend to overcomplicate and overdo things in Planet Zoo, and I'm guilty of it as well. So that's something I was very conscious about during this creation of this plaza area. I wanted to keep things simple but still effective. This is going to be a large open plaza area where our guests can chill out, have a little drink from the vending machines, have a sit down on the bench and watch their children play in the splash pad area. And here's a closer look at the splash pad area, and I am really happy with it. There's some things I might change, but I might wait till I've actually completed the whole zoo to change little things like adding tiles to the flooring of the splash pad. So we've got an area where our older kids can crawl under. We've got an area where our smaller kids can crawl under. All kids can go under the falling waterfall of mushroom. And then we've obviously got a slide over here and some swings. These swings are actually off the Steam Workshop page. I just redid them in my own colours. The slide I custom built myself. We've got stairs going up, very simple but very effective, using the conservation pieces. These are all just the shape pieces, and then we've got some effects of water, so it looks like there's water actually going down the slide. Over here we've got the planters where a guest is actually currently about to get a drink out of, it looks like, and then those lovely shaded areas for guests to chill out on. Remember at the start of this video we created this water fountain, which I'm really happy how it actually has come out looking, to be honest. We completed the look and made it an inside area. Not actually put anything in, don't worry about that, we can cover that up. Not put anything in there yet, I will put staff facilities. And yeah, our guests are actually loving the restaurant, all sitting on the water. So with the restaurant and the splash pad and the plaza area combined, this area of Newtropic Zoo is now complete. Let's have a quick zoom out and see how everything looks together and how it's all forming and coming together now, this zoo. But with that now complete, that does conclude this episode of Newtropic Zoo. If you are new around here and you want to follow on with what else I build in this zoo, then hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if I've somehow inspired you to create a plaza area, or you just enjoyed watching me create a plaza area. My name's Adam, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next Planet Zoo video.